Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce wedding. Graham Norton confirms date. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have locked the date to celebrate their nuptials, and the rumors might just be true. The 36-year-old pop superstar and the Kansas City Chiefs tight end, also 36, are believed to be taking the vows on June 13th after multiple reports pointed towards the date, in a grand celebration near Swift's Rhode Island mansion. Although the Eras Tour performer or Kelce have not addressed the wedding date and destination speculations, Graham Norton, who is invited to the wedding, just issued a telling message. The talk show host took to X and wrote, "So exciting that at Taylor Swift 13 has a date for her wedding now," via the official account of his show. Swifties were shocked to find the insider information, as the Opalite hitmaker and her close friends and family have all kept tight-lipped about any details of the wedding so far. However, there was equal part excitement among the fans who believed that Norton has just confirmed the June 13th rumors. "Are you sure you're allowed to say this? Babes delete," one ex-user wrote, while another theorized that Swift would, of course, have allowed him to say that. "I feel like he's saying the reports are wrong, and this is his way of joking around," one chimed in. Despite different reactions to the wedding date, some fans of the show explained that the show's social media was only running through the highlights of their show this season and had nothing to do with the real date. The rumor did not begin with a whisper. It began with a laugh, warm, unmistakable, and distinctly British, echoing across a brightly lit studio in London. On a recent episode of The Graham Norton Show, host Graham Norton leaned back in his red chair, eyes sparkling with mischief, and delivered the line that would send social media into a frenzy. The wedding date for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce had been confirmed. For a heartbeat, the audience gasped. Then came applause, loud, delighted, disbelieving. Somewhere between punchline and proclamation, the world shifted. The power couple, whose romance had already blurred the lines between pop royalty and football dynasty, was now stepping into an entirely new arena: matrimony. A love story written in stadium lights. Their story had always felt cinematic. She, the architect of heartbreak anthems and glittering stadium tours. He, the charismatic tight end whose catches for the Kansas City Chiefs had turned games into highlight reels. When they first appeared together, her in a private suite at Arrowhead Stadium, him grinning under the glare of post-game cameras, it felt like two American myths colliding. But beyond the flashbulbs and fan theories, there were quieter details. A hand held walking out of a New York restaurant. A lyric subtly shifted during a tour performance. A sideline kiss after a victory that felt less like spectacle and more like sincerity. Their romance thrived in public view, yet it retained something intimate, as if both understood that love, even when amplified by millions, still belonged to the two people inside it. The confirmation heard around the world. When Graham Norton made his now viral remark, he did it with the theatrical timing only he possesses. "Well," he teased, "I suppose we can finally save the date." The crowd laughed, uncertain at first. Then he nodded, mock solemn. "It's happening." Clips of the moment flooded timelines within minutes. Swifties dissected his phrasing. Sports commentators paused mid-analysis to speculate about tuxedos instead of touchdowns. Wedding planners across the Atlantic refreshed their inboxes, half-jokingly hoping for an inquiry from a certain global superstar. Though neither Taylor nor Travis had yet posted a formal announcement, Norton's confirmation carried a particular weight. He is, after all, a keeper of celebrity confidences, a host whose couch has welcomed Hollywood legends and chart toppers alike. And now, apparently, wedding dates. Where pop meets pigskin. The cultural gravity of their union is undeniable. Taylor Swift represents a generation's emotional soundtrack, from teenage diaries to adult reckonings. Travis Kelce embodies athletic excellence and charismatic showmanship. Together, they have fused fandoms that once barely overlapped. Swifties learn the language of football. First downs, red zones, tight ends. NFL fans memorized album titles and debated their favorite eras. It was a merging of worlds that felt oddly harmonious: glitter and grit, choreography and contact sports. Their wedding promises to be no less symbolic. Will it be a grand, cathedral-scale affair in a city like New York City? Or something more intimate, tucked away in rolling countryside far from camera lenses? Will she walk down the aisle to string quartet rendition of one of her own songs? Will he exchange vows that feel like a championship speech softened by love? Speculation, naturally, runs wild. The dress, the guest list, the moment. Fashion houses are already dreaming. Designers imagine lace that shimmers like stage lights. Others predict a sleek silhouette, understated, elegant, impossible to duplicate. The guest list could double as an awards ceremony. Fellow musicians, teammates, actors, athletes, perhaps even surprise appearances from collaborators who have shared her creative journey. Yet beyond the spectacle lies something deeply human, two people promising forever. Taylor has written extensively about love, its euphoria, its fragility, its resilience. Songs that once chronicled heartbreak may now give way to melodies of permanence. Travis, known for his exuberance, has spoken often about loyalty and family. In interviews, he has hinted at wanting a life built on shared purpose. This wedding feels less like a headline and more like the final verse of a ballad that has been building for years. A global celebration. When the date becomes official, etched not in rumor but in invitation, the world will mark it. Fans will gather outside venues, hoping for glimpses of arrivals. Live stream speculation will dominate timelines. Hashtags will trend before the ceremony even begins. Yet perhaps the most poignant moments will not be broadcast. A quiet breath before she steps forward. A private smile exchanged as vows are spoken. The hush before applause. In a world that often feels fractured, there is something undeniably joyful about a love story that transcends categories. Pop culture and sports. Lyrics and touchdowns. Sequins and shoulder pads. The next chapter. Whether Graham Norton let slip a carefully guarded secret or simply delivered a well-timed tease, one thing is clear. Anticipation has reached fever pitch. Taylor Swift has always understood narrative. Travis Kelce thrives under pressure. Together, they seem poised to transform even a wedding into a cultural milestone. And somewhere, perhaps in a sunlit rehearsal room or a quiet Kansas City backyard, two people are planning not just a ceremony, but a life. The stadium lights will dim eventually. The applause will fade. The headlines will move on. But if their story continues as it has begun, with laughter, loyalty, and a touch of theatrical timing, the real magic won't be in the spectacle.